right off the jump. I was like, look at this kid stroke. PJ Haggerty was grabbing your eyeballs because the way he was getting to the free throw line. But if you haven't been paying attention, Tyrese Hunter has been flat out balling. Man, you got to feel good about a Memphis team that never even trailed in that game. From the jump, they punched them in the mouth.
Isn't that 2 games in a row?
Man, I'm just
because we went wire to wire here versus
with Ole Miss.
Yeah, so there's 2 in a row, right?
Hotty. By the way, we also got to talk a little Ole Miss football last night. They beat up on Duke. Talk about Jackson Dart. Talk about Lane Kiffin's comments afterwards. Dude, we've got so much to jump into. But I do, first and foremost, want to talk, of course, a little bit of college football. Now, it is very fascinating. Like this whole the college football 12-team expansion has proven obviously to be flawed. The BCS, though, I can also tell you would have been flawed. You look at the teams that 4 teams that had byes lost. That's right. All 4 teams that had a bye, they are gone. There's also, think about this, left in the playoffs right now, there are no conference champions. I mean, there's a third-place Big Ten team that's probably the favorite to win that bad boy. So while it is flawed, it is just all, it is different. I mean, like the SEC champ Georgia, they fell yesterday to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a champion themselves. Texas, second in the SEC. And of course, you know, Penn State lost to Oregon in the Big Ten championship. So it is interesting. Nothing is perfect, but, you know, something's going to have to get better. They'll figure this out. It's just kind of wild when you think about not only did all 4 teams at home, I mean, that had a bye lose. And I'm saying this isn't perfect, but, you know, the BCS, if you would have done the BCS and you went back to the BCS model, would we not have had Georgia and Oregon? And both of those teams are already out. So, again, I'm not saying that it's terrible, but it does feel like it needs a little tweaking. And, of course, I know somebody out there is probably saying, well, John, one of those teams that got a bye should have won. That was Arizona State. Yeah, they call that play. They possibly get in the field goal range or right there on the cusp. They don't punt. They might walk out with that bad boy. But that was just, that whole game, that was insane. That Scatterboo kid went absolutely crazy, put his team on his back. By the way, did you see the sidebar? He went on Dan Patrick. Did you know Scatterboo was like, after he threw up violently on the sideline, is when he went absolutely crazy. And he went on Dan Patrick, and Dan was like, man, what was it about throwing up? Was it nerves? Were you feeling sick? He was like, I guess just, you know, before the game, I was drinking so much water and so much Gatorade and trying to get so hydrated that I got out there and I started feeling queasy. And then finally, when I puked, I was like, oh, I'm back. And he put his team on his back. He really did. It was the most impressive performance, basically, I think you'd have to say, from the whole college football playoffs, other than the way Ohio State is just trouncing anybody and everybody in front of them. But outside Ohio State, the little Scatterboo, man,
showed some heart yesterday.
Man was showing some heart. But the college football playoff, you know, we're down here to the semis. Notre Dame and Penn State. Look at those 2 teams. Marcus Freeman, the way that team played defense against Georgia was very impressive yesterday. You look at the way Penn State's defense has been. James Franklin's team's been very impressive. Neither quarterback feels like they can go win the game with their arms. I think it's going to be a really good football game. Ohio State and Texas, on the other hand, a little bit worried. Ohio State is just run roughshod over everybody. Texas has, I mean, what a 4th down, man. Like, you can talk about the hit, but damn, Quinn Ewers did get it there on the money. And Texas does have a good secondary, but my goodness, if Will Howard keeps throwing the football the way he's been throwing during the postseason,
Advantage Ohio State.
and you got those NFL wide receivers like that are just going buck wild on folks, running wide open, it's going to be tough for Texas to slow them down. You also just have to feel Ohio State, the way their defenses come on, my Lord. Nico couldn't do nothing. They couldn't run. They couldn't throw. They couldn't do nothing. And Dylan Gabriel, let's not forget, quack, quack, duck, duck, number 1 team. They couldn't get anything going. A defensive line was just dominant. They were flying all over the place. In the secondary, locked down. So it might not be perfect. It is what we have, but I'm curious, what do y'all think about it? Again, like, I feel almost bad for Oregon. Like, how did they get a draw where they go to Ohio State?
Because Tennessee did not beat Ohio State.
I mean, I know that too, but like, again, the 8-9 was, I mean, Ohio State.
Hey, they would have had to go through them anyway, right, John? So
I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's just, I guess, I don't know, man. Like, were the Ducks affected more by the layoff than anything else because the timing just got off?
Yeah.
And these aren't pro athletes. It's different. They're college kids.
So making $6 million a year. Bro.
I mean, think about it. Realistically, when you play week to week, you're getting better. You're getting better. You're getting more confident. When you have a long layoff, all that timing, that does have to. I mean, it had to play an effect. I think playing in that game. I mean, you've got to say Ohio State playing Tennessee in that first week, they came out ready to punch Oregon in the face.
They were ready for Oregon. Revenge factor, the whole nine.
I mean, Notre Dame, the way they handled Indiana, there was those few late touchdowns. They came out ready. They withstood Georgia's punch. And again, like I said, Gunnar Stockton, a young kid who did throw a touchdown pass and had some, flashes.
Not ready.
Did you expect him to be able to actually put the team on his back when I told you they weren't going to be able to run the football against Notre Dame? And again, Travis Etienne had that terribly huge fumble. By the way, also, not only in that game, like, my man, Kirby Smart was going nuts on the genius little, I mean, that Marcus Freeman, you got 4th and 1. It's
that offside.
They had the punt team out there. Then they all took off and ran to the sideline and ran their offense. And then the team's getting crazy. And now let's not forget, my man for Georgia still did jump.
Yeah.
Also, they didn't see the wide receiver for Notre Dame on the outside kind of flinch, too. It was, you can go back and forth. But they saw him
and one
right
more piece, John.
ball.
He actually had, I think maybe there were 14 players on the field at one point. If he'd had his head up, he could have just hiked it and still got the extra penalty or whatnot.
The crazy thing is, though, is the main thing Kirby Smart did, though, after the ball game was screaming that's illegal. I've been talking to my SEC officials. That's illegal. That's illegal. That's illegal. Did you see that?
It can't be, right? It's not illegal.
Well, no, yeah, you cannot have if you touch the ball. If the punter, if the long snapper would have actually put his hand in the ball,
yeah,
and it would have been fielded in play, then
the ref never moved though.
No, you have to touch the ball and put it in play. That's what I'm saying. It was just a sneaky little move by Marcus Freeman, and Kirby went to the podium, and then I'm trying to find it because I thought it was so funny. Kirby Smart, after he went on air talking about how it's illegal and they missed it. I've talked to my SEC officials and yada, yada, yada. Got fact-checked by Twitter.
Good job.
Or X, whatever it was. I was laughing so hard. And they put the rule down. And it was just, it is what it is.
Like you said, the ref never moved. The ref actually gave Georgia a lot of time to get their subs in.
Oh, yeah.
He stood right there and made sure he did his job.
Oh, yeah, but Kirby was just saying that you can't do that.
Crybaby.
Man, I'm telling you. I thought Notre Dame, there were a few points where Georgia like could have snuck back in that bad boy. Again, that fumble was costly. The opening kickoff return, though, talk about a kick in the you-know-what.
The Golden Domers, man.
It was a crazy game. And then the other thing about this is like, you look at the quarterbacks that are left. Like Will Howard is, before the playoffs, statistically was not one of the better throwers of the football. Drew Allar looks like an NFL
I
quarterback.
was waiting on you to say his name. I did some research yesterday.
He looks just like an
he's the number
NFL
one quarterback next year. You know
And
that?
projected, yes, because again, remember how great Joe Milton was going to be? God, I'm not saying he's Joe Milton. He's better than Joe Milton, but he's just 6'4". He's got the big frame. He can move, and he's got a hose, but he goes Chuck Knobloch in big moments.
Shout out to Chuck Knobloch.
Like, he throws the ball in the dirt. He throws it over. He can't put it in there. I mean, do you ever, like, how many games have you seen put, like, Penn State, and you're like, yo, Drew, go win me a football game? They don't do it. They win with defense and running the football. And he gets the ball to his tight end, Mr. Warren, who's a
Thank
beast.
you.
That's it. I mean, this guy's not out there running the most complex offensive system, and he's just picking people apart. He is what you call a game manager who looks like an all-star. But he's just he's Trent Dilfer. That's exactly what he is. He's Trent Dilfer. And then also, again, like Riley Leonard does it with his legs. Did it with his legs yesterday. It's crazy. Is Quinn Ewers actually the best pure passer left? Absolutely. Which to me says a lot. It's all about this line. Offensive line, defensive line. And when you look at Ohio State, they got both sides. Somehow that offensive line is gelled after those injuries. Those boys have stepped up. Texas is going to give them an issue, but if you didn't know the early line, Ohio State's a 6-point favorite.
As they should be. Which bowl are they playing? Are they in the Cotton? Or
They
which one
are
are they in now?
in duty. I think well, yeah. They're playing in Texas, so the other one's the Orange Bowl because they're playing down in Miami. Notre Dame, Penn State line. Notre Dame 1.5-point favorite. Total 46.5. That Notre Dame Penn State game is going to be, I think, just run defense. And the Notre Dame special teams that everybody was talking about, one of the weakest special teams unit, came up huge yesterday, did they not? Notre Dame hit their field goals, kick return. Notre Dame played good football against Georgia. The other question is a lot of people out there are saying the SEC is dead. Did you see Dave Portnoy? Of course, he loves to just push the buttons.
SEC is very much alive, sir.
I mean, according to the NFL draft, 61 of the top 100 players in this year's draft are going to be in the SEC. You heard Lane Kiffin talking about every single week playing in these big stadiums, how rough it is, and people just don't understand the different conferences. Now, SEC did not win a title last year. They ain't going to probably win one this year because I think Texas is about to get run. So the Big Ten, best conference this year. I do want to remind you that the ACC and the Big 12 is over right now in the postseason as well. So don't say the SEC's dead. But you do got to give a little credit to the Big 12 and that little scataboo.
That little scatterboo.
My goodness. But right now, the craziest bet out there is I can get Ohio State to win it all.
What, plus 600?
No, hell no. It's plus 110.
Ah,
And they're not great odds, but right now, have you seen anything that makes you think that Texas is going to beat Ohio State again? Texas is here, but the big games this year where they had big physical football teams like in Georgia, they lost. Now they're going to run it to a team that's got a defense that's playing better than even Georgia. And again, have wide receivers out the frame. And then we don't even talk about, how about Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson running that football along with Will Howard and the way he's throwing. Like Ohio State, you got to feel like, whoop. The others, plus 350, plus 380. That's Texas and Notre Dame. And then Penn State was dead last. Plus 500. I feel like Ohio State plus 110 right now to win it all. All they have to do is win 2 more games. Somebody's got to win 2 more games.
Because after today, that number's going, what, minus
Man,
150?
I call me crazy. They just look like the best team in the country.
They
have
do.
the most NFL talent right now. Texas right now just is what the way they fell apart almost against Arizona State. Again, I will give them credit. On fourth down, what a throw by Quinn Ewers. What a call. Great route. Again, how lucky was Texas? You think Texas is going to get lucky 2 more weeks in a row? 2 more games? I don't. Especially having to go through Ohio State. Now, you can say, well, they're in Texas. I don't give a damn. Right now, Ohio State, I don't think anything's going to bother them. And you don't think a Buckeye fan's going to travel down to Dallas?
They would play in our whole field Liberty Bowl stadium if they could win a championship.
And
they're going to travel.
And do you think realistically, like over there, we saw a very flawed Georgia team here at the end of the year? I told y'all this yesterday. Take Notre Dame. Georgia is not as special. Gunnar Stockton was valiant effort. But when you can't run the football, and that's what I've said about this Georgia team that is different, they don't run the ball well. They had 62 yards, 29 carries, 62 yards. Notre Dame had $150. And again, you can't put this on Gunnar Stockton. Did you see their best pass catcher yesterday? Dylan Bell dropped like 3 big crucial plays. I mean, he had 6 receptions for a whopping 33 yards. They just didn't have the receivers. Ergo, look over at what Ohio State. My goodness. I mean, hell, Jeremiah Smith might be the first wide receiver taken in the NFL draft if he was eligible. I just feel like Ohio State's got it, and I don't trust either Notre Dame or Penn State. Right now, I'm liking Notre Dame. That one could go either way. That's going to be a tough one. I got to look close.
We're really digging your expertise on the Ohio State deal because you saw them up close.
Yes.
Like, you ain't just spitting out stuff that you're guessing. You saw them. You saw the heavy hitters.
Let me just tell you something. They whipped that front 7 of Tennessee, which was so damn good. I mean, whipped them. And you saw what they did to Quack Quack Duck Duck. I mean, they're running roughshod on everybody. Like, don't get in their way.
They got a motivated coach, too, man. I like Ryan Day right now.
He went from fired.
He went from fire. There you go.
Speaking of Dave Point, he flew a banner, when Tennessee, when we were up there in Columbus, there was the banner flying around, and it was like, extend Ryan Day's contract, because, of course, he's a big Michigan guy, and Michigan keeps beating him. It's kind of like a little joke, just a little tug and pull, but now I'm thinking about putting a little chunk of change on plus 110 because out of all 4 teams remaining, I don't see anybody slapping Ohio State. And then ergo back to what I began the whole conversation about. Is this system the best system? No. It definitely has to change the whole bye. All 4 teams that had a bye lost. It definitely needs to figure out the seeding situation. Poor Oregon, number 1, undefeated in the season. Crazy thing is, though, if you had a 4-team playoff, does Ohio State get in, being the fact that they were 3rd in the Big Ten, because they probably would have been left out. If you had 4 teams, Oregon would have been in there. Georgia would have been in there.
Who's
right?
your other 2? Yep, you're correct.
I mean, I'm just saying those are fact jacks. I guess. Damn, that's tough. I mean, like, are they going to go with little Arizona State because they won the Big 12?
They were higher than Boise, right? They were the 3, right?
They were the 4.
Who's the 3? Boise?
Man, I just think the little guy
They
Boise.
went with Boise.
I don't know.
Every now and again, they let us
Point
in,
is,
Judd.
I don't know. I don't think a 3rd place Big Ten team,
Would've made
because
it.
we're, again, Penn State and Oregon played in the championship. I think Ohio State would have been left out.
They'd have been in the Gator Bowl.
If you just did the BCS, it would have probably been Georgia and Oregon. I mean, you look at the different ways. So it's no system right now is perfect. The games in the first round were terrible. And then again, of course, Lane Kiffin goes out there and beats the break off of poor Duke with no quarterback. Leaves Jackson Dart in the whole game. They would throw a late touchdown. They were running that junk up. And after the game, Lane was talking some mad trash. I have to say his Twitter game is also unbelievable. Did you by any chance see what I tweeted out yesterday? That I saw Lane tweet out?
Oh, let's see.
So check this out. I got it right here. So this one dude named Sergeant Blackout says, let me make a bet at Lane Kiffin. If you guys don't cover 17.5 today, I get to take your daughter on a date to my local Chili's. Lane actually responds, she isn't a Chili's girl, laughing. The guy came back and said, fine, I'll settle for you and me go there and talk transfer portal talent over some beers then. Landry then texts back and said, he isn't a beer guy.
All right, for context, Landry is the daughter, right?
Yeah. And then Jackson Dart texted 1 minute later. Is like, are you guys like sitting right next to each other right now or something? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Lane's Twitter game is pretty damn funny. And he was on it last night, retweeting everything about the SEC and how bad the ACC is and all this good stuff. It's definitely fun.
I got a question for you. I was talking to a sports legend yesterday, and he uttered the words, he's getting tired of football. Is there too much football in the college football playoffs right now? Like the games weren't exciting.
No.
That was the point. He's like, the games aren't exciting. It's too much going on.
I mean, that Arizona State-Texas game was crazy. Like, I mean, that was exciting.
But overall, how many games have we had college football playoffs? Maybe 10 so far? 4
We
last
had
week?
8.
8 total?
Foe and foe.
And what, 2 have been great?
Great.
Good.
One of them was great, but all for the right and the wrong reasons. I mean, it was a great game, hell of a comeback by Arizona State, but God, it was mired in controversy, and everybody's still talking about the no call. And then also a lot of people forgot, Arizona State, first quarter, remember, they had one of their best defensive players called on a targeting play, and he was out of the game the whole rest of the time. Another thing college football has to fix. Like, I get the 15-yard penalty. You want to protect these players. Don't go head and neck.
That's punishing them
it.
twice.
But kicking them out of the damn game, especially, I mean, if there was malice intent, you can have the option of throwing them out. If it was a football play, bang, bang, split second, and his head did make contact with his head and neck and shoulders, like, don't throw the kid out the game. 15-yard penalty is already enough punishment. Man, I could talk college football all day. And it's almost gone. We do actually have football games today. Did you know that? There's still bowl games going on today.
Ergo, there are still bowl games going on.
Ergo, we still got stuff to gamble. North Texas and Texas State today at 3 o'clock. Texas State is a 14-point favorite, total 65.5. And then at 6:30 tonight, how excited are for you, the Duke's Mayo Bowl? Like, you jumping in that mayo, like, didn't the coach have to, like, jump in mayo or something?
No, it's in the Gatorade deal.
They dump it?
Yeah, they dumping it on you, man. I'd rather have the iced coffee from the Scooters Bowl dumped on me than the mayo.
Minnesota, Virginia Tech, Minnesota 10-point favorite, total 42. On the other side, it's time to talk NBA. How about them Tigers? We got to talk a little bit of basketball. Don't forget, I got a ton of NFL gambling stuff to talk about, like 12-ish. I'm going to go deep into. There's a few games and a few opportunities to make some money. The other one, I just feel like shooting craps to see who. I'm not sure who's going to show up. But there are still things to play for, some teams that are going to be trying to win. And there's a few lines that I like. So we'll get into that at 12. We got T-Money and Uncle Brasky. I got a few funny stories. Ricky Williams drops a crazy story about how smoking marijuana saved his career and got him a Heisman. It was pretty funny and interesting. Ricky was high-strung. You know that?
Yes, he was.
He said without his homie passing him a bong after having a terrible, terrible game and wondering why he's doing this and wanting to quit football. He said after he started taking hits from the bong, my man ran for 300 yards the next 2 games.
He probably did run for $300 too.
And $300. I'm late for a break. It's a Friday. We got so much to get to. J-Ham, the historian's on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 95 FM.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. I have been told that my ads are all business and I should share some of my personality. Okay, I love tongue twisters, like the one about the terrific tasting toast by Taste Tester Toaster, or Big Black Bugs, Bleed Blue Blood, and of course Sally and her seashells. Or of course the ever-present I'm a Mother Pheasant Plucker, I plug Mother Pheasants. Okay, enough of that. If you want an honest, fair, reasonable roofing, siding, or gutter estimate, call Fiveash Roofing at 367-0050. That's exactly what you'll get. No empty promises, no high-pressure sales tactics, and no fast-talking salesman trying to convince you that today and only today is the best day for you to get a new roof. For the record, the best day to get a new roof is when you're ready for one. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for getting in on all the hoops, football, and hockey action at DraftKings Sportsbook. And here's the gift for all new customers. If you bet just $5, you can get $150 in bonus bets if your $5 bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D. New customers get $150 in bonus bets if your $5 bet wins. Happy holidays from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
This Rebel is online radio show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Nancy Porter with 24/7 Sports. Your Ole Miss defensive captain Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Moore covering SEC sports ball, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Garvey from kickoff hours through the extra innings. Your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa sale. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. And with cold plunges, you can get one for yourself, starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has 7 special financing just for this event. If you've been sitting on the fence about the get off that fence and get the Family Leisure to take advantage of the huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. If you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun. Courtesy of Family Leisure, but you better hurry up. The world's biggest spa sale might go on forever. Family Leisure with Leonard I. Footing. Family fun comes together.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe in 2024. We can't wait to serve you.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. Napa Cafe.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a Friday, baby. If you're hungry, I know what you should do. You should head on over to Los Cabos, where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Right there at Summer and Graham. Lunch specials 11 o'clock. Nope. Even better, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Happy Hour, 3 to 8. How you like me now? And by the way, there's lunch specials. $7 to $11. Plus, they got delicious margaritas, full bar with some Tito's if you need a little vodka and water like I like to get after a little Friday. Check out my place over at Summer Graham. That is Los Cabos, where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. I got my buddy Jay Ham this story, and we're going to talk a little NBA, some Jimmy Buckets. We're also going to talk, of course, about the Grizzlies. How about them Tigers beating the brakes off the FAU, led from the jump all the way through. Man, Tyrese Hunter making it rain. Now, they did have 19 turnovers, but they did make of it for shooting some crazy number. What was it? They had 10 threes last night. Man, even more than that. They were making it rain.
I have a gripe.
Before you start griping, I have a question first.
Okay.
Because one of the things we've been talking about, especially today, is the college football playoff extension to 12. Now we have the Final Four set.
I have 2 gripes, but go ahead.
we have the Final Four set, and you have 0 conference champions left in the bad boy.
I love that.
You have Georgia. I mean, they got just taken care of by Notre Dame, and now Notre Dame's in. Now Notre Dame, in certain metrics, would be here. They're playing Penn State. You have Texas playing Ohio State. Again, no conference champions. If you go back to the BCS area, none of them have been perfect, as we've now found out, because we had the BCS. BCS would have had Oregon playing Georgia. Mm-hmm. If you had the 4-team playoff, guess who would be in it? Okay, I'm just saying that's one of the metrics. If it was the 4-team playoffs, it would have been Oregon and Georgia, Notre Dame. Those 3 teams would have been in for sure. Mm-hmm. But, Ohio State, a third-place Big Ten team, would have been left out. They would have either taken Texas or Penn State. Mm-hmm. So guess what? Basically, Totally different is what I'm saying.
You can't hide behind the vanity of how good your program is perceived to be no more. That's what this is proving. That's what I like about it.
The 12-team playoff is also flawed, though, because in the aspect is where is the 4 teams that had buys, all 4 lost.
That, to me, makes it not flawed. Here's why I say that.
Well, it gives it an advantage. Those teams playing come in again. This is college football. You go off for 30 days, you're going to come back a little rusty. That week playing, you can tell, helped out Ohio State, helped out Notre Dame.
Again, you can no longer hide behind the vanity of what your college football team is perceived to be. This is what I like about it. All 4 of those teams that had buys, they had ample time to prepare, right? They even had an extra game to scout their possible opponent and their eventual opponent. And it was pretty much in the same time frame of when they normally prepare for bowl games. Calendar didn't move. It still was around New Year's Day where they play New Year's Day bowl games. New Year's 6, remember that whole deal with that? Even going back to the Bowl Alliance and Bowl Coalition days, those games were played on New Year's Day or around that frame, December 30th, January 2nd, anywhere in that block. Now, we get to this playoff. And it's just year 1. Of course, coaches will eventually tweak it in their preparation. They'll hammer down more. But I think it exposed that we have a lot more balance in college football than we want to agree with. Here's the thing. I watched that game yesterday.
I think you can definitely sparse it so many different ways. Like, I can't sit there and argue with your point or your opinion. I just one of the things that I really kind of felt like I've noticed is, like, let me just tell you something. Ohio State going up there, having that home game at their house after losing to Michigan and going and beating the brakes off of Tennessee right. gave them back a ton of confidence that when they went out there and played in the Rose Bowl against the Ducks, they came out clicking on all cylinders, and you could tell Dylan Gabriel and them Ducks were off, and they mollywopped them 41-21, and that defense was on. Their hair was on fire.
Did I tell you last week I think they were going to get them?
Penn State's also, yes, you did, but I also think Penn State being able just to absolutely beat the brakes off of SMU gave them even more of a belief that we're going to go beat the brakes off of Boise State. That's exactly what they did. Notre Dame, having Indiana. Like, it just – Marcus Freeman felt like he was into the game. Kirby Smart, again, great coach, backup quarterback, momentum. Notre Dame just kind of felt it. They even had a special teams return touchdown, and their kicker made a big kick. Where it is that they were saying that one of the weakness and flaws was Notre Dame special teams. They came up big, and Texas, for them to hold on against Arizona State is still a miracle because of the situations that happened. Quinn Ewers still threw that dime on 4th down and 13. They got there, but again, you had a little bit of Mo after dropping Clemson at your house. I mean, that home game, getting that momentum,
I'm cool with
and that belief, and then you go on a road to a neutral site.
All right.
Like, you're coming in ready to rock and roll, and you almost have that built-in mentality that, hey, I got nothing to lose.
And that momentum and continuity from the week prior.
And then, look, they slapped them. Like, it's kind of wild. I'm just saying, there's no perfect way to figure out, and we've always seen that every single year there's been a flaw. College football, some of the flaws is what makes it great because there's banter constantly back and forth.
I like what you said when you said perfect because shout out to my boy Jerm. Jerm's so true. Jeremy Barrett, Views from the 22. Me and him, we've talked about this for years with college football. The vanity part where, to me, I get annoyed with college football because when you get to this stretch of the year, it's all about the beauty contest element.
That was maybe why Texas got that call.
Paul Feinbaum, all this stuff that they're talking. I heard what Kurt Herbstreit said during the Indiana-Notre Dame game about Indiana. They don't belong. They were outclassed. Okay, they lost by 10 in South Bend on a true road game. Georgia lost by 13 on a neutral field.
Oh, I'm with you on that. But the thing about that is, Indiana did get an onside kick, and it was like the craziest 14 points in the final 3:05 of the game to even get it. It was 27-3 with 4 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Like, they had it in hand the whole time.
I get it.
But I will tell you, like, I agree with you, but I will like to say with you, you can say what you want about like Georgia. I'm not like kind of looking at the SEC. I'm looking more about
good
that
football team.
momentum
Yeah.
of getting that home playoff game, getting that W under your belt, getting a college football playoff game under your belt, getting that winning, get that feeling of winning. And man, winning is contagious.
Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting?
That damn man, you get a bye and you
That
die.
it's best to be 5
Yeah,
to
you
12?
get a bye, you die.
Get a bye and you die.
Because
like
you ain't coming in with your hair on fire.
But I don't think we can base it
and
off.
that confidence, man, that young
I don't
kids
think we
get.
can base it off year one, though.
I hear you.
We
We
need the
need
sample size before
more
we
sample,
But
but
I do.
these
like,
are my observations.
I do like it's T-shirt worthy. I mean, I can get a screen.
Get a buy,
print and
you
make
die.
a T-shirt out of it, right?
And miss out on like $25 million for that home
T-shirt
game.
worthy for certain. But that's the thing, man. It's like, think about this. I heard another, Memphis radio personality say this years ago. College football is the only game where you can end your season on a win and you don't win the championship. Any sport, any level, college football is the only one because they play consolation bowl games.
Dude,
which
that took my little tiny
people
edible
don't like to
eating
hear
head
consolation,
minute to
but
get
that's
my
what
head around that.
that's what it is, though. It's a
You're right.
consolation game. And so they glorify that with. I was watching one of the bowl
I mean,
games.
Ole Miss last night dropping Duke. They put in, an exclamation, 10 wins. Jackson Dart breaks
what bowl
records.
was Ole Miss in?
They were in the Duty Bowl down in Florida. What was that?
Tex Slayer
Tex
Gator
Slayer,
Bowl,
thank you.
Jacksonville, Florida.
They're the
Sorry.
Tex Slayer Gator Bowl champions of what?
Hey.
But they glorify this. They've been glorifying
No,
this
I
for
do
so
have to say,
long.
but I will say, since I'm an Ole Miss fan, I had fun watching them tear them up, especially since I laid the points minus 17 and a half in Ole Miss. And I did like the fact that, it gave, there was something impressive actually about Ole Miss because of the transfer portal, the NFL draft. Seeing that many dudes go out there just to want to go and win one last one, I kind of dug it. That's not the norm, so maybe that's why it felt a little bit better. And it also feels better when you're like, damn, they gonna rough, man.
Right.
No quarterback, we jumping on this bad boy. So maybe I'm a little jaded because I do love that. And the bowl systems I've been a part of for so long. But
right.
the national championship, so far we've never had a right answer because obviously the BCS could have been wrong some years. Obviously a 14 playoff wasn't enough because this year's Ohio State team, who's favored to win it, wouldn't even have made a 14 playoff because, again, it would have been Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, and then either they got to pick the second place of the SEC, which would have been Texas, or the second place of the Big Ten because they're not taking the third place
The thing
champion,
that's funny,
Penn State. So, I mean, again, it would have been totally different. Ohio State would be sitting at home, and right now it's only plus 110 for them to win it all, and they're the favorite.
the funniest part about college
Damn,
football
I went and talked about this for a while.
that me and my guy Jerm always talk about is that people really try to project perfection in an imperfect game. None of it is perfect. The bowl structure's not perfect. The playoff structure's not perfect. The balance of it is not perfect. To the fact of where our Memphis team could go 13-0, but people were like, well, their schedule. But they beat everybody on that Division I schedule. They didn't have any D1 AA opponents. They didn't play D2 squads.
They do
played
have
everyone
that
that's
quad
D1.
threes. Arkansas State,
Division One,
Tub.
Division 1A programs, though. Granted, they're not from strong conferences or not as powerful, but it's Division One. If you're gonna do that, why call them? If you're gonna do that and then shade them after the fact, why call them Division One to begin with? Why are you faking the funk? Now you're moving the goalposts. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
we're used to the goalposts being moved constantly and being
but
in a
see,
weak conference.
that's
and
part of the problem.
And by the way, Boise State wouldn't have. I mean, they got a bye. They wouldn't have even gotten in a 4 team. I don't even.
That's probably
believe.
the only one I would say you could question their seed, but I wasn't mad at them getting that seed.
No, you can't. The rules. I mean, they went. The committee went by the rules. Conference champions. Bam. Highest ranked conference champions.
And
Bam.
who was their own that lost to?
Penn State. I mean, Ducks.
There you go.
Ducky, ducky, quacky, quacky. We've been talking college football forever. I got to jump off the gears. You are the historian, especially you do football, but we talk basketball. I haven't even talked really about that Tigers team. They've been tearing it up. And I got a couple NBA questions. Jimmy Buckets is not happy. We're breaking that down and more with Jay Ham right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tiger fans, don't miss the action when the Memphis men's basketball team welcomes North Texas to FedEx Forum Sunday, January 5th. The Tigers will tip off their American Conference home opener against the Mean Green at 4 o'clock. It's time to stand up, Memphis, and support your Tigers at FedEx Forum in a big-time matchup you do not want to miss. Memphis and North Texas at FedEx Forum, Sunday, January 5th. Get your tickets now at GoTigersGo.com.
It's inevitable. Rain, snow, and ice are coming and will make driving a challenge. Thankfully, the experts at Tire Rack know a thing or two about conquering winter's worst. New tires elevate traction and will keep you safe. Tire Rack sells only the best, like the full line of hand-cooked tires. Go to TireRack.com/Colin. Build a winter tire and wheel package for do-it-yourself installation. Ship fast and free and backed by 2 years of free road hazard protection. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Corky's barbecue. Cooking it up. Down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. With over 175,000 cars served in our drive-thru, 4,000 online pickup orders, and 1,500 party packs delivered to offices and events every year. Corky's is your trusted go-to barbecue for parties. Our party packs start at just $6.99 per person. You can choose 1, 2, or 3 meat combos and pick your favorite sides. And as you know, Corky's always gives you plenty of food, so you never worry about running out. Whether it's pickup or delivery, we've got you covered. Corky's makes it easy to impress your guests. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to order for your next day.
Encore flavor. Corky's barbecue.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 kilowatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a Friday. Woo, thank you. I'm making it, man. I've been so confused for a long, long time. But, man, you talk about the last 2 weeks, it's been so confusing. Like working a day in the middle of the week, and then you're back, and you're like, yesterday all day I was trying to say it was Monday. It's Monday. Oh, wait, hold on. No, it's not Monday.
But then you get to Friday, and it just feels normal again.
Yeah, it's true. It does. Yeah, it's Friday.
He said he's been confused for a long time. I'm still stuck on it.
By the way,
Ergo.
We did say, college football. We've been talking a whole ton about it. Just one of the things I kind of noted: if you get a bye right now in the current structure, and you get a bye, you die. That's your team is going down. The mo you collect, home playoff game, pretty fascinating. Now, college basketball. Memphis Tigers, man. I love this team. I don't know how many times I've told you this, and I just sometimes realize I don't give Tyrese Hunter enough respect. My man is flat out nasty. These young men are out there going 90-0 the whole time. I think we have the best in shape guards in the country right now. And Hunter right now is him. 4 for 6 from beyond the arc. The Tigers yesterday, their bad issue they have is turnovers, and they did have 19. And by the way, that was one short of a season high. But they did drain 10 to 18 three-pointers. They led from beginning to end. They played nasty defense.
You know what ESPN
They dropped 90 on FAU at their crib.
I tried to watch that one, and I had the Sugar Bowl on my laptop, and I had the Tigers pulled up on my tablet. I had the tablet on the stand. I got my little miniature control center set up. I got my third tablet set up. I'm watching old school wrestling. But
Shout out Dustin Starr.
I need to holler at Dustin, too. I'm coming to the show on January 26th, Dustin. We'll talk about that later. But ESPN won't let you stream two programs from their platforms at once on different devices. I started streaming the Tigers. They actually cut my Sugar Bowl coverage. I said,
That
what
is
this?
terrible.
Right.
But
I only missed the first 5 minutes of the Tigers, though, because they were wrapping up. The Sugar Bowl was wrapping up as the Tigers were starting anyway. So I came a little late. When I got there, the Tigers was up like 12.
man, they just got. I mean, the Tigers are going. They like from the jump. You knew they were winning this game. If they stay focused the way they've been this year, and again, like this team is just different because there can be a different star every night. They're not selfish. They play through each other. Moose is running out there setting screen after screen after screen. That's something you just love to see. They get good ball movement. It feels like the guy who's hot knows when to take over. Some night it's P.J. Haggerty getting to the rack in the second half. Sometimes it's country star Colby Rogers burying threes. Last night it was just Tyrese Hunter, his energy and his stroke.
I said something last week that I don't think you caught, but as we move along through the season, I think it'll help your confidence about this team. When they get beat, they get beat. It's no coaching, no none of that. It's like you can accept when they get beat because they just got beat.
You just got beat.
You know what I'm saying? But going forward, it's like they hit people in the mouth. As we saw last night.
And they don't buckle under pressure on the road against Clemson. That was impressive. Now, I mean, when Mississippi State came in there, they just got whooped.
They gonna either hit you in the mouth or they gonna get hit in the mouth. And it's like it's no really that angst about adjustments, like you were saying a few weeks ago. When they come out of the locker room, you know they've made some adjustments. It shows.
They've been down in the first half after halftime, and coming out of the second half, they've come out and punched.
I'm a defend Penny in the past on that. He probably was making adjustments. His guys just weren't executing.
Well, he made this point that he feels more like there was a comment I think I was reading from Jason Munz where Penny made the point about feeling on the same page with all the entire coaching staff. And one is you've changed coaching staffs every single year. Mm-hmm. But when you go from like the old basically guard from like a Larry Brown and you go into, of course, another former coach.
Rick
Stansbury. And they're maybe heavy-minded on how they want the team. And then you finally get a coaching staff where y'all are all one on the same page. Mm-hmm. That does have to make it easier.
And
it does feel like Penny's. And again, there's a learning curve, man. Like you can't go from AA. No disrespect. You just can't. Just because you play in the NBA.
Absolutely.
You're coaching kids. You're not an NBA player anymore. There is a learning curve. I think he's figured it out. I think he's got the right coaching staff. I hope and pray, damn it.
Mike Davis is a gem.
Mm-hmm.
Because
somebody.
He can always relate to the culture. And he's been there. You got to remember. He took Bobby Knight's old team to a
Jared Jeffries, good sir. He was Jared Jeffries' guy.
And then he's got Nolan Smith over there who knows how to do it on both ends. One as a player, one as an assistant.
Dr. Ham and Dr. Harden, I think that's the biggest thing we've been missing.
Yeah.
Mike Davis is the biggest reason that this thing is moving.
His time, he knows the city just from his days in Conference USA when he was at UAB. He had a couple of Memphis kids on his squad from UAB, over those times. One of the kids from North Side.
Marvin McNeil, sir. Come on, J.L.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was a shooting fool.
That was a shooter. I played against him in high school, man. We had some South Side, North Side battles. Shout out to Marvin, man.
So having that, like Dario was saying, it's like that's the nut.
Robert Vaden, I think he had Robert Vaden as well.
Robert Vaden was
bad, man.
Was a monster at that time, So it's just like those dudes, and like you say, like I said, you got Nolan there, and Nolan is in touch with that culture.
He's bridging the gap.
And by the way, though, also how it is, and how do we give credit? Do we give credit to the young men on this team? Because we have seen teams that poison themselves from within because of selfishness. And I will tell you, right now, these dudes, again, and I mean everybody, They're playing for each other, not for a dollar amount, not for
each
the name
other
on the
and for
back,
what's across the
and for what's
front.
across the front, and for the it looks like for the coaching staff. I mean, it's to bring that. I mean, Nick Jordan's the only dude back from last year to bring this many kids in to have them buy in the way that they have. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Got to give the kids credit, John. Got to.
That's what make you feel good about it going into January, February, March. You know what I'm saying? It's like as they keep playing, they might get beat again, and when they get beat again, they're gonna get hit in the mouth.
The next team's definitely gonna get hit in the
by
mouth.
15 or whatever. They just didn't have it that day. You might get one where Penny's off kilter or something, but they were projected to go 18-0 through this conference.
I'm projecting it right now, calling it right. What is it, January 3rd? I think.
Yeah, man.
On January 3rd, man, they ain't gonna lose in this conference.
You keep it hand with Brasky now?
Man, I'm gonna keep it down with Brasky and them. I know. By the way, I know somebody who's really happy. T Money.
Yeah.
You know he's a big Ohio State fan.
Hey, I've been knowing dude for 30 years as of New Year's Eve.
And he's a huge Tiger fan as well.
Yeah.
So he's like,
he's a former Tiger.
he's just living large right now.
Yeah, he's a former Tiger. That's my guy, T Money. Shout out to T Money.
And then also, Brasky's got to be high as a kite right now, my friend, because he cashed in
I
on
gotta
Ole
link me up
Miss.
with Uncle Brasky. I hadn't met Uncle Brasky,
Ooh,
man.
you, I don't.
I listened to the segment though. I'm a fan.
First
so.
time I ever met him, I came down and he was passed out in a bathtub in a casino. It's like, what? It's like this dude is literally asleep, drunk as can be, passed out in the bathtub, not in the bed, in the bathtub. I'm like, what is he? Like, how did you get in there?
He wilder than you?
Oh God, yes.
Oh well, there you go. I gotta meet this fella.
Hey, listen, I make it to work every day. I do some good things. We'll find what those things are in a little bit later. But I got a whole lot of NFL. I want to hold you through. I got some bets. This is week 18. It's the end. Man, I found a few little games that I feel good about. Don't you touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Winton Road.
Briggs Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Briggs Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With two new airlines and the largest naturals in the Mid-South, Briggs can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Briggs Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Briggs Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or BriggsPowderCoating.com. Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Willotion, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
I was one of those things, when things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a Friday. Man, I love Fridays. You know why? Because it's a Friday. You know, this whole hour, heck, this whole show, man, basically brought to you by the best, the whole best. And you know I'm talking about Tito's. It's Friday. What are you doing this weekend? Watching a little NFL action. You know, we got some Saturday NFL action. Did you know that?
2 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love Saturday games.
I like just football. We've been mainlining it for a while. But yeah, last week of the regular season, it's crazy. Some really, really good games. Saturday, you got the Browns and the Ravens. And then you have the Bengals and the Steelers. Still a lot to play for.
Is that true? Ravens 20-point favorites?
20-point favorites. Yeah, it opened at 17, and it's already gone to 20. But, I mean, if the Ravens actually lost and then the Steelers beat the Bengals, did you know the Steelers would win the AFC North? So the fact that the Ravens play the Browns is a good thing because Ravens win, they are the AFC North champion. But if they lose, that Bengals-Steelers game gets a little hairy. It's crazy, by the way, that Cincinnati Bengals right now 2.5. But you got football, NFL action all week long. It's the last week of the regular season. You got a team that you love, right? Everybody loves somebody, right? Isn't that how it goes? Everybody loves somebody. Everybody loves somebody.
Or something, yeah.
Well, there's only one place I know of anywhere around Shelby County that you can see every single NFL game. You know where that's at?
Where you at?
The owner's box out in Lakeland. Right there at Lakeland Town Square. I'm telling you right now, 24 beers on tap. An upscale, delicious menu, a great patio, TVs everywhere, a full bar. They got it all at the owner's box. Check them out at Lakeland Town Square. And remember, they're the only bar I know that's got the full NFL package. Every single freaking game. You can find it right there at the owner's box. We're talking NFL football again. I told you a couple games that we have coming up on Saturday. We got some interesting stuff going on all weekend, but there are still things to play for. Now, everybody's been talking about Saquon Barkley. Should he play or should he not? He can get the NFL rushing record. Now, I will tell you, I understand both sides of it. You're not promised tomorrow. Saquon Barkley could go out there in the first half, break the rushing record, and it'd be something that he'd have forever, and it'd be awesome. Like, everybody loves records. Yes, it's more games. It doesn't matter. Barry Bonds been juicing, but he still calls himself the home run king.
You go out there and break that leg in the first half.
That's also the other reason. That's where it cuts both ways. We're like, I completely understand why you're going to rest him.
He shouldn't play, John.
I mean, do you give him a half to see if he can go out there and,
Nope.
Just say, sit back, relax, chill, and get real healthy so you can do those, crazy backward flip over people's heads in the first round?
Nope, because you cannot 100% say that the Giants, his former team, which may have some animosity towards him.
Oh, wouldn't want to try to, no.
Come on,
professionals.
John, come on. What about those Saints? Come on. We know about it. Come on.
They almost killed Brett Favre.
Come on, John. We know about it.
Them bounty.
So you wouldn't want that to happen to him.
I'd say, man, damn, Darian, make a really good argument.
Don't want that to happen to him, sir.
You don't want that to happen. Again, they're having a pretty damn great year. But everybody knows that the biggest game, of course, is Sunday Night Football. Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, game 272. I mean, everything's on the line. The winner clinches the NFC North title and the number 1 overall seed. The loser is going to start the postseason on the road as the 5th seed.
In Philly, right? Yep, because Philly's the 2.
No. 5 would play the 4 of Tampa Bay. Yeah, buddy. That's exactly right. So, yes, no, they ain't, man, Philly, if they had to, that would be.
So, Philly would get, the 7, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And the 6 and the 3.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
math.
Again, it's okay. Your math, my math, it's math. It's hard
math
on some
ain't
people.
mathing.
But again, winner, bye. Loser plays Tampa Bay, more than likely, on the road. And the thing that sucks about that is that, Baker Mayfield's been rolling.
And he got something to play for tomorrow, this weekend, too.
Yeah, you got money and you got to win because if Tampa Bay doesn't win and the Falcons win, guess what?
Adios.
Tampa Bay sent it home and the Falcons sneak back in. And again, nobody wants to be like right now, that 17th seed, Packers would be playing the Philadelphia Phillies. You'd have the Commanders playing the Rams. You'd have the Vikings or Lions playing the Bucks. It's getting buck. So a lot to still play for. And again, I already told you about the Baltimore has to win because if they don't beat the Browns, which they're going to beat the Browns, but the Steelers, they would have to beat the Bengals to get in. Bengals need a lot of help to get in. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you right now, sounds crazy. Talking about a few nuggets. That Baltimore line, and again, favorites covering, it's got to come to an end eventually, right? I don't think it's with this game. First game on Saturday. The Ravens know they have to win to get the division. And you don't think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to go out there and run roughshod at their house against the Browns? Do you remember the Browns and the Ravens? Some people would be like, well, the Browns hate the Ravens because the Ravens are the ones that left. No, they just don't like each other. And the fan base more so, the Browns don't like the Ravens. But this is in Baltimore. And DTR does not belong. Like, he's not an NFL quarterback. I hate to say it. He's got 1 touchdown and 10 interceptions. Did you realize that? Did you know that DTR has 1 touchdown, 10 interceptions? That's in his career. Do you know that's the worst of any quarterback with at least 5 starts in this century? I'm not going to sit there and say the Ravens defense is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but they're 18th. Ravens offense, on the other hand, I don't think Cleveland is a serious football team. I don't think this matchup's going to work out well. This is the last game of the year. Can't believe I'm saying it. In an NFL football game, I'm laying 20 points. And it's hard. That's hard. But I feel like after that first half, when you see it's 35-0, you might be feeling pretty good.
All right, Joe. So what was that number again from DTR? I got something for you.
He's got 1 touchdown pass, and 10 interceptions.
And that's this year, or how? And what kind of span?
In his career.
Is that in his career?
That's his career.
You know how much he's made in his career?
No.
Almost $10 million.
Well, damn it, man. You know what? Being a backup is a great job.
Almost $10 million for that.
Hey, Nathan Peterman played forever in the NFL, made some damn good coin just being a backup.
Hey, I didn't realize Chase Daniel.
Dude, he was in there
42
forever.
million. He made 42.
Yeah, he's now on that FS1 show.
Mm-hmm. Brock Osweiler, another guy that didn't move the needle, made over $80 million.
Damn, Brock, big, tall, goofy.
Yeah, 1 touchdown. I think we can do that together, John.
Man, I wouldn't say that in the NFL. No.
Between the two, because one of us would get hurt. One of us starts the game. One of us would get hurt, but we move the ball enough down the field where the other one brings it home. And we split the 10 mil. That's how we do it.
We'd be dead. It'd be whoever survived.
Hey, we'd have King Henry behind us. Just let him run the ball, man.
And then the other thing about Saturday is it sounds crazy to take the damn Ravens. Does it not sound crazy? Laying 20 in an NFL football game?
I ain't laying 20 on a 20-year-old. I ain't laying 20 nowhere, John.
All right, so if we can't lay the 20, do we just go Ravens over the 41.5 because they're
easy
scoring all
there
day
you go.
long?
There you go. And then what you want is Cleveland to kind of backdoor you to already be down 35-0.
Actually, now you're making me not even want to bet on this damn game.
Ugh. Yeah, you take it
I mean,
over.
DTR is so bad. How the hell are they going to score?
The defense will score?
Defense, they score.
No,
man.
I mean Ravens.
And the other thing is Lamar Jackson not going to try to go out there and add to his already crazy numbers with this whole MVP race?
Nope, he's going to play that mid.
Man, he ain't
going to play that mid
mid
game. He's going to give you 200. You know that game where he gives you 188.
Mid.
Against the Browns. They ain't trying to cover.
He's got 39 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He wants to get that ratio up to be the best in the National Football League. Joe Burrows, though, got it.
That man is...
Joey B's got 42.
I would give the world up for
interception,
him.
though, but he's got 40. Man, by the way, did you see the Pro Bowl? Did you see who got left out?
Yeah, a lot of people got left out.
Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, AFC, All Pros, Pat Mahomes, 15-1 left out. Damn.
How about the Dolphins fall from grace?
Hold on, damn, dude. Did you think about it? Pat Mahomes? Is there any question that he's not the best football player on planet Earth?
A lot of questions. He's questionable.
What?
Listen to his voice, John. Never trust a man with a voice like that.
Dude, everybody trusts Kermit the Frog. Look at Miss Piggy. Come on now.
Piggy never got to second
Man,
base with him, too.
I don't know who I take off. I mean, Joe Burrow's having the best statistical year probably had. Pat Mahomes' numbers aren't great. 3,900 yards is great. 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. But who has the best record in football right now? Who's going to the playoffs? Chiefs? Who's not?
Andy Reid.
Bengals aren't going unless they have a miracle.
Andy Reid. How about the?
Dude, that is absolutely wild to think
How about the Broncos trading Mr. Jerry Jeudy and he goes and make the Pro Bowl?
Well, that's I think good for both.
Brock Bowers starting
Sutton's
over
ridiculous.
Travis Kelce. Some nuggets in here, man.
Well, I mean, right now, like again.
Shout out Laramie Tunsil, a little Ole Miss action.
Yup. Do you remember? Do you remember a man with the bong out of Ole Miss?
At Ole Miss?
You don't remember the mask?
If I do, you got to jog my mirror. I'm getting up there.
Man, just Google because I gotta get back to talking football because I just scared myself off the Baltimore game. But I do have to say, if Baltimore wins and Pittsburgh has nothing to play for, realistically, I mean they do. But Joey B and the Bengals, if they win and they have to have like so and so. I mean, I can't even remember the whole script. They got to have a bunch of stuff go south, and then they could sneak.
They
in
need the
back
Dolphins
door.
and I think the Broncos to lose. If I'm not mistaken, Dacus just went over those on Willow and Friends.
Well, thank you, Dacus. I just know that. So they need the Dolphins
I
to.
think they need the Dolphins and the Broncos to lose, and the Bengals obviously win.
Okay, thank you. I actually needed that one. Thank you, Dacus. The Dolphins are playing the Jets, so that's not going to happen.
Nope, I think that's the Aaron Rodgers game there. Now, you want
Oh,
something
you
to bet
think
on?
Aaron Rodgers? Why do you
Come
think it's his
on.
last game?
There you
ever?
go. He's not going out like a simp. He's going to light them up.
You really think so?
It's 30-something degrees. They don't play well in cold weather. We've already
The
seen
Dolphins
that.
don't play well in
There
cold weather.
you go.
Oh, Lord, have mercy,
There
dude.
you go. Go for it.
So, so I like the Bengals a lot against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but after you saying that, is this Aaron Rodgers' last game?
I like him for 3 touchdowns. I like him for 250
Dolphins
and
are
3.
terrible when it's cold, and it's going to be, what is it going to be, 35, 36?
32-ish.
32-ish?
Right at 32. The high is like 38.
We know that. The Dolphins and Tua are terrible. That whole team's terrible.
And they ain't got no Pro Bowls. They won a 14 with 0 Pro Bowlers. They slow.
I mean, the Jets are slow, too. They have 4 wins on the season. At least the Dolphins did manage 8.
I'm betting on Aaron Rodgers. Go over with him.
Garrett Wilson and him don't like each other. You still think he got it?
This is the Aaron Rodgers. This is legacy stuff, man. And if he puts out a stinker, he's coming back. But if he goes out in the blaze of glory.
Man, dude, like the thing is, I don't know if he ever comes back again because, again, it's the whole situation. Like, think about it. This ain't like he's still with the organization, the Green Bay Packers, that he's been with his whole career. Like, he left the Green Bay Packers, thought when he got to New York and got to run things his way, it was going to be awesome. Huge slap of reality in the face. Got injured, of course, in the first season. This year has been an absolute disaster. He loves to reflect and think about things. He's putting out all these Netflix. I mean, did you know he approved that crazy Netflix documentary? Did you see that thing? Like, he approved that damn thing. Like, he's a different
So you're saying
breed.
it's not his call. Woody Johnson may say, thank
what
you,
I'm
but see you
saying
later.
is I do agree. Like, this could be because he's not going back to something that he, like, this ain't the glory years of the Packers. Do you go back to just for a money grab when you're Aaron Rodgers to the Jets when you already got so much money? I don't know. If this is the last game, you know what? I'm loading up on the Jets, baby.
There you go. Come on, you with me. Good. There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Loading up on the Jets.
Load
the
up on
Dolphins are absolutely terrible.
Yep.
Holy cow.
And there were some bonuses missed
just
because of
got
their
me
Pro
up.
Bowl stuff, man. So the Dolphins won't even be thinking straight.
You just got me excited.
Don't you know how upset Tua's going to be? Oh, I didn't make the Pro Bowl. I got money, but I didn't make the Pro Bowl. And Tyreek, you know he's an egomaniac.
Tua doesn't need no damn. Like, he couldn't sniff the Pro Bowl.
No,
Tua's
not this
terrible.
year. Yeah, not this year.
He was injured with
We're
his
just
little
glad he
head
finished the
injury.
season. You recall what happened to him
It'd be
earlier. We're
like
just
saying
glad.
Brock Purdy looks like he deserves a Pro Bowl. Brock Purdy's been terrible.
You
That's
tell me.
just a shot
You
at
tell
your
you
right
tell
here,
me for
49ers.
one. You tell me 1 year. 1 year. I'd take that bad man for 1 year in lieu of Brock next year.
You take who?
That bad man.
Tua?
Aaron. No.
Oh, you would take Aaron
for
Rodgers?
one last shot. Let's see if we can do it. Because we can clearly get there. We just can't get over the hump.
I don't know. Your 49ers team's slipping.
I know. That's why you don't overpay for a quarterback. You go ahead and give
Aaron Rodgers.
1 year, $10 million. You load back up. You re-up everybody because now you're not spending 50,
Are
60,
you?
70.
Have you been smoking or doing ayahuasca?
Possibly.
I mean, I'll bet on him this week.
Little glue action up the nostril.
I kind of also like, by the way, Geno Smith. I think I talked about how he had $3 million in incentives. Nope, I was wrong. It's $6 million.
He's gonna get cut. He's not coming back to Seattle next year.
You really think so?
Yeah, they're done with him. They have a championship team, dude. They have a really good defense, and then they can run the ball. What's that, Charbonnet? After he's starting, now all of a sudden you're averaging 125 yards a game. They got a really good team.
Damn, man.
Pretty good set of wide receivers.
Geno Smith. I guess he better get that $6 million tomorrow.
If they were smart, they'd trade for McCarthy tomorrow.
Denver really going to go out there and just destroy Kansas City being a 10.5-point favorite? I mean, is Andy Reid playing anybody? I mean, we got Carson Wentz.
There you go. That's all you need. He's going to give you a chance.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. No, he ain't going to give you a chance.
He's going to give both teams a chance. Watch. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he will. I think Sutton gets a few touchdowns.
Oh, and I need Patrick Surtain to get one interception for me to win $150. I bet that he would have 5 or more. He only has 4 right now.
Uh-oh.
Little future bet for you.
I like that. Tampa Bay 14 over the Buccaneers. I was listening earlier. Was it Brandon Lang today who was loving the Bucs?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to absolutely destroy the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints ain't. They're not coming to the party. Plus, opposite end. Now, that's the game you bet on because Tampa Bay got something to fight for. Not only Mike Evans. Mike Evans 85 yards away from getting 1,000. That'll make him 11 consecutive years. Only he, Randy Moss, and the great Jerry Rice will be in that class. So they're going to go for it.
Mike's a freak.
He is. I didn't know he would be this good coming out of Texas A&M. I didn't.
Shoot, he was a freak coming out of A&M.
Yeah, but I didn't
Just
see
because you
it.
just had your eyes on Manziel.
Yeah, and Dat to win and all those guys.
Man was wilding out. Damn, man.
But yeah, hammer Tampa Bay.
I still think I like that Jets pick more than you. I also think you're crazy. You really want to bring Aaron Rodgers. Can you see Aaron Rodgers and Kyle Shanahan get along?
Yeah, they would do ayahuasca together. Shanahan's one of those guys.
Kyle,
man.
no, man.
He ain't that tightly wound. He just portrays that.
I mean, there's so much. I mean, like, Shanahan runs an offense. Like, you run his offense. He ain't letting you just sit back in the shotgun and throw it through little windows. And he loves motion and he loves scheming. And Aaron Rodgers don't
Hates
seem
that.
like
Yeah, he
likes to learn anything new other than reading books about, again, psychedelics and how his life, he was a caterpillar, just this little caterpillar, and life was, you never knew, like that one day you were going to
Life is a
grow
box
up
of chocolates.
and turn into a butterfly, and then next thing you know, you're flying
Flying
around and you're sniffing flowers that smell so good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's Aaron Rodgers' documentary.
No, I'm straight. I'm out on him. Thanks, John. I'm straight. I'm good.
You didn't
I'm
know
good.
that? You didn't see that clip? My
I'm
boy
good.
was tripping like...
Yeah, that's when he was sitting in crisscross applesauce, right?
Man, boy was tripping and telling everybody how he was a caterpillar and now he's a butterfly. Like, hey, man, it's pretty good. Like, I mean,
Good TV, but you don't want him to be your
no,
quarterback.
it's terrible television.
It's terrible television.
I get it. Like, if I was ayahuasca out, I'd be like, man, like before ayahuasca, I could see how I felt like a caterpillar, and all of a sudden you're flying because your mind is just you going whoa. Like, you tripping, man. You don't even want to know about that stuff. I don't know if you can handle it, D. I don't know if you can handle it. Oh, NFL action. We've been talking about it for a while. I did want to remind you of something very important. We got T-Money and Uncle Brasky coming up next, giving you their bets, talking about some debauchery. And again, I did want to remind all of you, I'll tell you all with T-Money and Uncle Brasky, I can't play the clip because it's Ricky Williams talking about, like, smoking reefer and how it saved his career because he was ready to quit. You've heard this before in the National Football League, but this was at Texas before he won his Heisman Trophy and went absolutely crazy. Man, Ricky being Ricky. It's one thing to be Ricky and be the running back. It's another thing to have your quarterback, man, constantly doing drugs. I think that's just, honestly, again, different strokes, different folks. I'm here. I'm going to go have me a couple cocktails. Little Tito's when I get off work. Trust me.
We got a 20-second message for Aaron Rodgers.
Love a little ganja and everything, but like I don't know, man. We're talking about like billion-dollar organizations. I don't know if I need my quarterback getting high all the time. What do you think?
Get dope out your veins and hope in your brain.
Get dope out your veins and hope in your brain.
Yes.
Speaking of a couple dope heads, I got T-Money and Uncle Brasky. They're coming up on the other side. But don't forget, if you're hungry, Los Cabos right now, they still got lunch specials. They go until 3 o'clock. They start at 10 a.m., go to 3 p.m. $7 to $11 lunches. Bing, bang, boom, delicious. It's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. You're like, John, where's the Los Cabos? I love the one at Summer and Graham. Go check it out. We're back in 2 Shakes. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tiger fans, don't miss the action when the Memphis men's basketball team welcomes North Texas to FedEx Forum Sunday, January 5th. The Tigers will tip off their American Conference home opener against the Mean Green at 4 o'clock. It's time to stand up, Memphis, and support your Tigers at FedEx Forum in a big-time matchup you do not want to miss. Memphis and North Texas at FedEx Forum Sunday, January 5th. Get your tickets now at GoTigersGo.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest stock sale. It's happening right now. It's a 1,000-ton in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. And those cold plunges, you can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17.99. Plus, Family Leisure has 7 special financing just for this event. If you need sitting on the fence on the above-ground floor, get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. If you
Sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Whitten Road.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It's a Friday, people. Hope you're enjoying it with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And I hope you enjoy the best. That's Tito's handmade vodka. There's no frills. There's no flavors. There's no fancy labels. It's just the good stuff. Tito's handmade vodka. Get it! Because that's when the getting's good. I love me some Tito's. Now, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about with T-Money and Uncle Brasky. I got to explain to Brasky and T-Money a few things, that we don't have any perfect systems. We've learned that no matter what through these college football playoffs. The BCS, how could they had it right every single year when this year the BCS game, national championship game, would have been Oregon and Georgia? If it was just the 4-team playoff, Ohio State, who's the favorite to win it, wouldn't have made it. They were the 3rd team in the Big Ten. You know you're going to have the Ducks in there. You know you were going to have Georgia in there. Notre Dame was going to be there. That third one would have either been Penn State, Texas. Maybe they went Arizona State or Boise, but it definitely wouldn't have been Ohio State. So there's definitely some flawed things. And I figured out, if you get a bye, you die.
You die.
You die. We've learned this about college football. No perfect systems, but we got what we got. I'm curious to see what they have. Also, we're going to get their bets. But I want to bring up this story, and I want them to listen to it before, because I just heard this for the first time the other day, and I think it's one of the funniest stories and the most fascinating stories that I've heard in a long time. By the way, where's the money?
Not sure. We got Brasky.
Man, Brasky, you better get your boy, man. Like last week was, what was it, the Liberty Bowl? So I get it. He was like inebriated. Like what now is it? He's still hungover from New Year's?
Go get Brasky a minute or two to get T-Money.
I mean, we got, man. No, he's got to listen to this story. So Ricky Williams is on a podcast. He's on like the, whoops, I just pulled up Ricky Williams by accident. He's like on the Glory Days podcast, and he's talking about the year he won in the Heisman. And he's like, it's my senior year. I came back. It just started off really bad. My girlfriend broke up with me and started dating the starting quarterback. And I've done a little stony research. Either it was a Richard Walton who started the first 2 games or Major Applewhite. Chris Sims was there in 99. He wasn't the starter, you know. He only started 1 game in 90. So it's definitely either Richard Walton or Major Applewhite.
Sims was the richest back then because of his dad.
Yeah, man. He had money, man. But Ricky starts off, the starting quarterback's dating his girlfriend. Comes back for his senior year, and his girlfriend breaks up with him right before the season. He's like, I'm dating your quarterback. Whoa! Ricky gets like 45 in the first game. He's depressed. He's thinking, why did I come back? He's thinking about quitting. And he's like, not really up, digging my quarterback, my teammates, don't feel good about myself. And he's like, finally, my roommate was listening to me kind of, getting things off my chest, and he just handed me his bong. And he said, I hit that bong, and man, I relaxed. And he said, yeah, I relaxed. He said, next game I ran for 300 yards. The game after that, and he said, I've been a smoker and achiever ever since. Run, Ricky, run, Ricky, run.
Run, Rick.
That is like a very interesting story. But I also found it also interesting. Like today, could you get out, like if Ricky Williams, who was a stud, comes back to school and then all of a sudden his girlfriend breaks up with him and starts dating the starting quarterback, Like the huddle would probably be weird. Like, do you say
Kids these days transfer. He would have been out.
you'd have been gone?
Yeah, social media, this, that, and the third. Yeah, he'd have been out.
He would have been caught too. I have a feeling. But anyway, Uncle Brasky's joining the program. What up, Unc?
Not a whole lot. What's up with you today, Johnny?
Oh, I'm just chilling like a villain. Did Money just lose himself, or did he quit?
No, he's down.
He's in
He
Florida?
made so much money this year. He's down in Florida.
That's right.
And he's got that old ghetto cell phone, that Cricket cell service.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Don't worry.
You get what you pay for, man.
That's right. You get what you pay
know.
for. But did you
It's
hear my
always been
story?
that way.
Did you hear my
I
story
did hear
about
your
Ricky?
story. Here's what I'm mad about. What the hell is he even dating a girl for? I'd be getting high anyway and dating multiple women.
You know what?
I mean, really?
Yes, but again, it's kind of crazy. Hindsight's 2020. Young bucks, man. I remember, when you're young and you get that first love, and all of a sudden she's the only thing in the world that you're thinking about. And I just think that's where Ricky was. That was the first time he had his little heart broken.
Man, Johnny, come on.
You get that thing
I mean,
broken
it's
like
funny.
3 or 4 times. Once you put it together
Man,
3 or
that
4
stuff
times, you don't
happened
let
when
it
I
get
was-
broken again.
No, hell no. It's time to roll now. Now I've done figured out how to have fun.
Yeah.
I ain't want that ball and chain around me, dragging me around. Heck
Don't
no.
trust your heart to somebody that's crazy.
Correct. Now you got it, Johnny. Now you're getting the whole picture. I mean, I don't mind a guy hitting the ball. He was a hell of a running back.
He was a hell of a running back.
I mean, that guy even went out and stayed high and hiked across Indonesia or something.
Yeah, dude, he
Lived out in
did.
the
He went on like a
jungle for while.
walkabout by himself for like 100 some odd days, just a big old backpack full of weed in a tent.
And then he came back 2 years later and set NFL records again. I mean, the dude was a stud.
Yeah, he even changed his body type from being just big and bulky and started doing yoga all the time and stuff, man. Yeah, Ricky was an interesting dude, but that man could tote the rock. But he couldn't tote the rock without toking on a little joint or a bong here and there, and I find that fascinating. I get it. Josh Gordon couldn't play wide receiver very well without a little weed.
No, and you were getting on my boy Laramie Tunsil over the gas mask bong, man.
I thought
he
it was
down there
Larry.
and
That was
all
one of
that
the.
dude.
Hey, didn't Larry just make it all pro? Laramie?
Yes.
And he's ripping the tube. By the way, the
Absolutely.
gas mask, though, like that seems, listen, the gas mask, that just seemed like a little much, man. Like, I'm telling you one thing. Like, I'm not a blunt dude. I'm a junt dude. I'm not like a 3-foot long boob tube bong ripper either. Like, I'll rip a little tube here and there, like somebody else. But I'm not like sitting in the crib ripping a tube. Makes it feel more like a drug. It's like, dude, look. Girl walks in, she's like, what in the hell is that?
Well,
So,
that old
a
gas
joint
mask bong, no,
works
you were
out
high
real
when you
well.
come out from that.
I bet
That's
you
right.
were. Like, could you
Absolutely,
imagine that
man.
your girlfriend walk in and you got that mask on your head and you're smoking weed and a damn gas mask? She's going to think you crazy as hell.
You ain't seen Big Slender's gas mask for his CPAP machine.
Oh,
That big old
oh.
thing with a long tube.
Do
Man,
you
all you
blow,
got-
can you blow like a hit in a CPAP machine and like they're asleep, it'll give them a hit?
I don't know. You probably could. I mean, I don't know. It'd probably work. I mean, that hose is real long on that thing. So, I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. You just undo one end and blow it in there, I guess.
Yeah. That damn.
I mean, it worked just like a gas mask.
Huh. Oh, maybe not. Nice try, Johnny. Said
Well, we can
CPAP
always try.
machines are monitored. Like if you blow,
Oh, they are?
they like it's something about. He says, I mean, I'm not reading the whole damn thing. It goes very deep. Something about it monitors your breath and da 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 da. Da. I guess like they'd know you'd be like I guess they don't want you like blowing bong rips in a CPAP machine when you're trying to, I guess, keep somebody alive. From not stop breathing or something.
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I've ever blown in is out of a machine down at the police department. That thing gets you in trouble, so you don't ever like that, so. But no, I've never had a CPAP machine. I have hit old gas mask bong before, and that's pretty good.
Well,
I didn't complain.
Well, I got a question for you. So I got it before I get into our bets, man. Ole Miss won last night. How do you feel? Should they have been in the playoffs?
They should have been in the playoff, Johnny. They're the only team out there that could beat Ohio State, and I'm glad money's not on today because I didn't want to hear that Ohio State crap all day. You know, I've actually got them going down to Texas. That's one of my picks. I like Texas plus the 6 next week.
Whoa, you like Texas? Is it because you don't like money and his trash talk? Because, man, when he talks Ohio State, it's some serious trash.
I think I tell you what, as impressive as they have looked these last 2 games, they're due for a letdown. They may start drinking their own Kool-Aid, man, or smoking their own gas mask. I don't know.
Man, the way they've
looked good.
They've looked strong.
I mean, you know, if Texas, with Arizona State coming back on Texas, that kind of shocked me. Maybe that got Texas's attention. You know, I mean, because that game should have never been that tight.
It shouldn't have ever been that tight, but after that safety, man, when Quinn Ewers went down in the end zone, it seemed like the momentum shifted. And once they lost that I thought they were going to lose that game. And man, you know about the flag.
Oh heck yeah, that was a targeting. You can't tell me. I knew it was over.
I mean, I thought it was over.
That was not a target. I did too.
I did
too. They got the call of the playoffs right there.
That was a crazy, crazy call that I still can't even understand. If you're a Kenny Dillingham or Arizona State fan, you just have to feel jobbed. I mean, they still would have made it. And again, Arizona State, they had 4th down and 13, man, and my man throws a BB in the end zone for a touchdown, and that was just like, holy, this game has just gotten nuts. And then the game ended on Texas intercepting. The way Texas squeaked by, and I'm just kind of scared, man. The way Ohio State's clicking on all cylinders.
Well, but the point I'm trying to get you out of this, Johnny, is a team that wins a national championship always gets a gift. Always. The year Tennessee won it, Arkansas fumbles the ball, going to beat their brains out. Fumbles the ball. You know, there's always been that gift that the team gets during the year. Alabama blocks an extra point to win. I mean, they get one gift, and that's Texas's gift.
Well, that's a very interesting point. I kind of like it, I will say.
And the way, like I said, Ohio State's just looked brutal through this. You know, and the one team that I'm not really enamored with, I think Notre Dame's playing good ball.
Yeah, I think they're playing.
I'm not enamored with Penn State, though. I think Notre Dame takes care of them easy.
Defense have got to give them some mad respect. They shut down Ashton Genty. They just can't. I mean, poor Kevin Jennings. He looked lost out there when they smothered SMU. Like, their defense is filthy. I just don't trust Drew Allar as far as I can throw them. They don't have great weapons outside of their amazing tight end and running back. If they can control a football game at the line of scrimmage, play good defense, make just a few plays in the passing game, like, that's how they're going to win the game. Almost the same way Notre Dame's going to try to beat you, running the damn football, playing great defense. And again, the special teams playing just old school ball. Now, one other thing, Jalen Milroe, declared for the NFL draft. Jackson Dart is going to the NFL. Very serious question. Which QB would you rather have if you're an NFL general manager, Milroe or Dart?
I'd take Jackson Dart just because he's a more complete player. I think Milroe has to fall back on his legs too much, and that doesn't work well in the pros.
And Dart can actually use his legs, and Dart is more of a complete player.
He's more of a complete player. I'm interested to see where he goes in the draft. I mean, I know everybody's hung up on Shador, and Cam Ward. And Shador likes to hold the ball too long. You can't hold the ball that long in the pros, you're going to get your head knocked off.
That is true. He got his head knocked off by BYU almost a couple of times, Lord, in that last game.
I'm telling you. I mean, he looked. So I don't know. This draft's going to be interesting, quarterback-wise. If I was a GM out there, I wouldn't understand Cam Ward taking his own self out of a game. Players play.
Yeah, that one I thought, that whole Miami went and got the record, but that first half of football was, man, he put on a clinic and everything he's done.
He did.
It was crazy.
But then you just pull yourself out. I don't know if I could do that with my team. As a player. I mean, you didn't see any Ole Miss players. We didn't have really any opt-out.
I mean, this is a pretty weak quarterback class.
It is a pretty weak quarterback class, but I don't know if Dart will be a first round, but he'll probably be a high second round pick. I'm thinking maybe about the fourth one taken, maybe.
Kyle McCord from Syracuse or Jackson Dart?
I'd take Dart over him. I think if I was a GM, the only person that I would take over Dart is maybe Cam Ward.
Oh, well, I can guarantee you Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward will definitely 100% go ahead of Dart.
Oh, they're going to go ahead of him. There's no doubt about that. But if I was a general manager looking to build a program and I needed a quarterback, there's a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL. About half of them aren't really good. The Jets need one. Aaron Rodgers, I'd be ready for him to walk and not have to pay him that $37 million anymore.
What about what about this though? You you love to gamble. We're about to get your picks. I hope I'm not stealing one from you, Darian. Put me on to this one. Jets at home. Miami's a 1-point favorite. Could be Aaron Rodgers' last game, and the Dolphins can't win when it's under 36 degrees. It's under 36 degrees. Does Aaron Rodgers go out there with a bang, beat up on the Dolphins in the last game of the year?
I don't know. I couldn't bet that either way. To even bet on Aaron Rodgers to do anything, maybe except take some mushrooms would be a bad bet for me. I don't know. He's definitely past his prime. Green Bay knew what they were doing when they sold that bill of goods to the Jets.
Yeah, dude, that was kind of like, it wasn't, Jimmy Johnson trading Herschel Walker. Filthy nasty, but it was pretty damn nasty to get rid of Aaron Rodgers like that, and he just got Jordan Love there in the wing.
Right, and you got them to eat $107 million for 3 years. Come on, man. That's the best sales job ever.
Not bad at all. So speaking of jobs, sell me on your plays. What are our plays? We got, is there anything that you're going with today? There are 2 bowl games that are left.
Yes, sir. Yes, I like it. We'll get you started here. I love the Gophers and the Virginia Tech Hokies to go over 42.5. I think that number is just a tad bit low. I say take the over 42.5. It's a bowl game. Bowl games, they always pull out the stops.
Yeah, they do crazy stuff. They worked on a little trick play here and there, maybe a fake punt. There's been a couple real good fake punts during this bowl season.
There have, and you always have some turnovers. Maybe a pick six here or there. I think this goes over the 42.5. I just think that's a low number. The number should have been about 46 to 47, I would guess. But I love that. Take the over 42.5. I got a couple of NFL games I love this week.
Uh-oh. I love a couple. Give me a little something.
All right, I'm going to give you. I love Buffalo, -2.5, going to New England.
Because of the draft pick situation, and Buffalo's just better?
Correct. Correct. You're sitting there in one of the bottom dwellers, so I do. I like Buffalo -2.5. I just think they go in there and do nothing but run the ball, run it down their throat.
The Patriots don't want to pull a Giants and actually win, do they? That would...
I don't think so. I wouldn't, would you?
Mm-mm. I just don't know how in the NFL you go out there and make sure that happens. I guess I don't know, man. And the Patriots don't have any talent anyway.
Correct, nothing. They don't have anything. Another game I love. It's going to be. I think it's Sunday night game. I love Detroit -3 against the Vikings. They've got everything in the world to play for.
Both teams have everything in the world to play for. The one thing that just scares me is if the Lions win that game, they're going to have 35 points at least, because that defense for Detroit is decimated, and I don't see, and again, this sounds a little, I don't see Sam Darnold going out there and throw a bunch of terrible picks like he did for the 49ers last week against the Lions. The Lions had really no business winning that game. They had to go for it every time. They got the field goal kicker for the 49ers missed 2 field goals and an extra point. And it's the 49ers who haven't been any good. This year's Vikings team keeps getting no respect. One of the best coaching staff. I love Kevin O'Connell. Don't get me wrong. I love the Lions. That game for me, the offensive line and the way that, Detroit scores the football, I think it's going to give the Vikings defense some trouble. But, man, that Vikings team, if you're going to have to win a shootout, winning a shootout against the Vikings might be a tough road to hoe.
It could be. I just think Detroit, every time that I've bet them this year, they've come through.
Okay, so we're just going Detroit. We just got blind faith, damn it. Let's go, Dan Campbell.
That we're going to get it. Well, they're going to get it. And I'd love to see the Lions win the Super Bowl, too.
Well, that ain't happening.
Well, we don't know that. You can't win if you're not in, Johnny.
You can't win if you're not in, and they're in. But, man, that like you can only lose so many pieces. Their whole defensive front, devastated. Their secondary is devastated. They do have one of the best safeties who's leading the league in interceptions. But that whole defense and Aaron Glenn, they depend on the turnover way too much for, I think, you to oof.
I know it. I've got a feeling.
All right, you got a feeling now. I know we haven't gotten a dime bag play from you.
You're fixing to catch a dime bag play right here. And this is one of the, like I said, I think this is going to be a hell of a game. I like Notre Dame minus a 1.5 over Penn State. I think it's old school football. That's a dime bag play. I think next Thursday, I think Notre Dame just pounds the rock and puts Penn State out.
All right, James Franklin, the first to be eliminated. That's Thursday.
That's
ESPN
Thursday.
6:30. Notre Dame minus 1.5. I think I like that one a lot too.
I really do. Notre Dame has impressed me in every game they played. From the eye test, hey, Marcus Freeman's going to do something Brian Kelly could never do. Maybe win a national championship there.
Man.
Every time Kelly got there, they got beat to death.
That's just facts. And let's be real. Also, with all the talent and going down to LSU, who's outcoached them the last few years?
That's right.
It's been Marcus Freeman. LSU's got a Heisman Trophy winner, but what else do they got?
I'd rather have a natty.
Yeah. I don't think, man, I'm telling you, I think my boy T-Money is going to be dancing in the streets naked. I mean, think about it, though. Like, Ohio State's been playing so good. And here's what I was looking for. So, Brian Kelly left because he didn't believe he could win the big game at Notre Dame. And Notre Dame just won a bigger game in the state of Louisiana than he has in 3 years at LSU. Yeah, Brian Kelly. That's why he's also giving $1 million back to his players this year and then put it in the NIL fund. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Not as much as Mike Norvell, though. He did $4.5 million.
Well, you got to pay to play in big-time college football now, Johnny. Cheating is legal now.
Yep. By the way, is that one of the reasons that the SEC isn't in the championship game this year? I mean, Texas still has a chance, but I still had somebody just tell me the other day, it's the first year, and everybody told me, it's T-Money who always says that.
That's right. That's right.
No wonder. I'm scared to go against T-Money. He's living large. The Tiger basketball team is rolling. His Ohio State team is right there on the cusp of a championship, like 2 wins away. And he's in Florida.
And he's in Florida with his crappy cell service.
I got to bet Kyler Murray over 50 yards rushing. If he has 50 yards rushing, he gets a $750,000 bonus. You like that?
I like it.
He can get that in one run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I heard something the other day. One receiver out there has got to have 2 catches to get $1 million bonus.
Oh, there's some great ones. I had everything the other day because I had them listed out, but I don't have my legal pad in front of me, and I'll never be able to find it, like with my mouth in front of a microphone and my backpack all the way across the.
Oh, and by the way, Johnny, I know you want tomorrow. Ole Miss kicks off basketball at home against Georgia, 11
bro.
Tomorrow morning. Yes, sir.
They better win that one.
Man, I'm telling you, after getting spanked by Memphis, another reason I'm glad money's not on here today. I have to listen to that.
Yeah, I do say Memphis though, man. They looked very, very impressive in that game. But again, you're in the SEC. We saw how they looked against Mississippi State, and they look at the SEC right now. It's just so filthy nasty. And Ole Miss is a damn good team, but it's going to be murderer's row.
Oh, absolutely. The SEC has taken over the Big Ten as the nasty basketball conference, where you get a road win, you've done something.
Big Ten looks pretty good, though, right now, sitting in the college football playoff with 2 in, with 4 remaining.
They've got 2 in. That's right. They've got 2 in. And you might as well call Notre Dame a de facto Big Ten team. They're closer to a Big Ten than any other team out there.
Well, Brasky, I got to say, I got to go pay some bills. I looked up where the time is. I got all your plays. Give me your plays one more time.
You ready, Johnny? One more time. We've got Minnesota and Virginia Tech over 42.5. We got Buffalo minus 2.5 at New England. We've got Detroit minus 3 over Minnesota. And the dime bag play of the week, we're riding with Notre Dame minus 1.5 over Penn State, Nittany Lions.
Dude, he is Uncle Brasky. Be blessed. Have a good one, and good luck with your Ole Miss Rebels against Georgia tomorrow, homie.
There we go. Hotty toddy, Johnny, and we'll see y'all next week.
That's my buddy Brasky. I'm going to take a quick time out. I did want to remind you, though.
No, you good. Write it out. You good. I took care of you.
Oh, you riding it out? Man, you're so smooth over there. Dude, love you, homie.
Great taste, less feeling, baby.
Man, dude, that's Tito's. Gluten-free 100% because it's corn, baby. 6 times distilled in classic copper pots. I'm telling you right now, very unique. Slightly sweet with a black pepper note. It balances everything out. You're crafting a cocktail. You're drinking it neat. You're drinking it with water. Whatever you're drinking it with, it's going to hit perfectly. Tito's, crafted in the United States down in Austin, Texas. If life hands you lemons, don't freak out, don't fret, don't stress. Just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best, and that's Tito's handmade vodka.
I didn't see a line for the Tigers game on Sunday either. Just a little too
Yeah,
early
a
for
little
that?
early, yeah, it'll be out.
North Texas coming through?
Well, the crazy thing is they like somebody was trying to tell me, and I don't know because I've not watched them or anything, that North Texas might be the second best team in the American. Really? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, none of us, I couldn't answer that.
I thought UAB preseason was supposed to be that team, and they've been terrible. I mean, North Texas, the record is 10-3 on the season. They won 4 straight, but have they really played? Boy, this American.
Probably a lot of IU, PUI, and UAPB or something. Who knows?
The Mean Green, last couple opponents that they played, they dropped, let's see, UAB in their first game of the year, 78-75. The preseason favorite in the American, App State, Houston Christian, Mississippi Valley, High Point. Boy, yeah, you ain't lying. That's a soft schedule, is it not?
Soft as cream cheese.
Soft. Well, I hope you got all the bets in this week. We talked a lot of college football playoff, how crazy the systems are. We talked a lot about how great them Tigers are with Jay Ham, the historian. Check him out at 94 Feet of Life. Man.
And you got through the first week of 2025, man.
Oh, it is
Don't sell yourself short.
Hey, it's Friday, ain't it? I love when we make it. Next week, we'll be back talking a whole lot about the end. Well, that next year, next week, we are gearing up for playoff football. We get through Sunday, baby, it's on. We got playoff NFL, and we got only 3 college football games that really mean anything. But there are still bowl games going on at 3 o'clock. Don't forget, if you got to get your fix. I can't remember the game they got. What is it? Texas State against, I forgot. Who
North
are they
Texas.
playing?
I think they're playing North Texas.
North Texas and Texas State. Thank you. I know one thing. One team was favored by 14, and I think it was Texas State. I hope y'all enjoy your weekend, make some money, get out there and make the world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.